There's been a lot of good news about Stellar lately. I want to go through it quickly just to give you the heads up here. Coinbase, BitLicense, talking about Western Union trouble with XRP, Tempo, sort of Stellar's response to XRP with Western Union, StellarX exchange coming, and the team behind it, and what's going on with IBM, and then the price breakout. I may even give you a little bit of a price prediction. I know everybody loves that silliness and get me caught up in it. And before I start on this, I just want to make this clear because people accuse me of, oh, I'm pumping Stellar. I'm shilling for Stellar. So what that means when people say that to me, they think I'm making this video because I think if I make a positive video, I'm going to make the price go up. First of all, no YouTube channel can move $1 billion market. And my stunky little channel definitely cannot move any markets. So unlike you, or unlike the people who accuse me of shilling and pumping, I'm not so stupid to think I could do that. And I get, even if I could, it's not a noble pursuit and one that I don't do. But the purpose of my channel is to discover knowledge. I talk about that in other videos, why I have this channel and all that. But this shilling and pumping accusation, you're really just exposing how stupid you are if that's what you really think. Because, like I said, even if I was trying to do that, that doesn't work. It's silliness. Okay. Oh, and I want to also, should I talk? There's also this. A couple people asked me, what do I think of this kid? Listen, might be a great kid. I don't know. And if I want to play wiffle ball, he probably can hit the ball. I don't know. But I only listen to experts in whatever I want to do. You know, I made a video about, Tom Brady's thing on pliability. If I want to know how to make my muscles function well, I'll listen to Tom Brady. If I want to know about Bitcoin Network, I'll listen to, Elizabeth Starks of Lightning Network. If I want to know. But this kid, and I don't mean to say, he may be a wonderful kid. But what makes you think he's an expert in anything? And he's got a channel, people listen to it because whatever. It doesn't make him an expert. And then if you listen to his first sentence here, and I'm only picking him out because a couple people were asking me what I think. And what I think is, I don't think it's worth thinking. Here, listen to this.
Fun fact, I also did buy some Stellar because I thought, oh, well, Stellar is just, it was made by a guy who left Ripple to start Stellar somewhere. Oh, so if Ripple's good, then Stellar should be good.
That's some intense research there. Well, if XRP is good, then this one must be good. It was made by the same guy. A guy who left Stellar XRP. It's the guy who created XRP, didn't like the direction, so he took it in a new direction. This is silliness. Don't only listen to experts. Otherwise, you qualify it as entertainment, right? Or if someone's just reading off news, they don't have to be an expert. They're gathering data for you. But listen. Let's not waste our time with this. Coinbase adding Stellar. That is a positive for the ecosystem. One of the largest exchanges lists it on their exchange. Also, being a regulated exchange in New York City or in New York, gives Stellar another vote of approval. Now, Coinbase's train of thought in what they add for tokens, I can't follow. Like, Ethereum Classic seems silly to me. Like I made a video mentioning, maybe it's because it was easy. Why are they adding Cardano? I have no idea. Basic attention token, I'm going to take another look at that actually because I made a video a long time ago saying, I don't know about this thing, interesting, but hey, if the browser ever has 1 million downloads, wake me up and I'll look at it. And well, now I guess it has 3 million downloads, so I'm going to look at it. But I don't look at, well, Coinbase likes it, so it must be great. I don't really think like that, but this is still helpful. Similar, this was a few weeks ago, itBit got their BitLicense, again, regulated in New York, and they can trade Stellar. Stellar is, sort of legal in New York. So this is great for sort of Stellar's reputation, legality, helps the ecosystem. I don't know that it makes, oh, now I really love Stellar because itBit, I think that's the name of the exchange in this article, because itBit chose it. I don't know that they're geniuses. But this is just another positive, and this video really is just, there's been a lot of positives. Then there was this announcement here, Tempo, let's see. Um, boy, I thought I had one sentence here that would sort of sum it up. The bottom line is that a large money transfer a system similar to, I think, and I'm going to mention here in a second, Ripple. Well, let me just say here, Ripple testing with Western Union. Western Union says, I don't know, we don't like it that much. Now, on one hand, you may say, well, if Western Union doesn't like this, well, then why would Tempo like Stellar? Well, Stellar is free. Stellar is open. Tempo can just take the Stellar network and do what they want for free, and then their software they own, that they built on to communicate with the Stellar network. So that's a different equation than doing a lot of investment with Ripple, paying for it, and then Ripple you can only exchange with other people that are also paying, whereas Stellar, this open exchange, we expect will have a wider array of people that you can trade with. That's the nature. This is why I like open and decentralized. They tend to grow faster and become bigger than closed, centralized, and that is why I believe Stellar, is much better than Ripple. And so as we get, the negative news on Ripple from one payment thing, and then have this Tempo have this positive announcement almost on similar days, a bit ironic. And so this was, you can read about it. I don't want to go too deeply into this. It looks positive. It's just another, we'll see. But they're just building right now. Nothing's launching. I think this is just an agreement to work together. So that was just another good piece of good news. Now, this StellarX announcement. So I remember I made videos a while ago talking about how Stellar, or I was saying, Jed and Stellar, they're coming out with their own exchange that I think is going to be great. And then we didn't hear anything. And now there's this StellarX. I think this is the exchange. I think this is the one. It's hard to get. I looked up, who's the team behind this thing. It's hard to get information. And on one hand, whenever I see it's not too easy to figure out who's behind it. That's usually a sign of some trouble or a scam, right? I think with this situation, and I did find out, it's mostly this guy seems to be leading the show, Christina Rudder, who graduated Harvard University. Then he did some things, and then he's, I believe, one of the founders of OkCupid, or launched it. Yeah, a co-founder of OkCupid. Has good front-end experience. So this guy, I think he's sort of leading the show, but I think one reason they're keeping it quiet is because I think Jed McCaleb has a big hand in it, and they're an open platform, and anyone can make exchanges on the platform, and I think they don't want to make it look like he's competing with all the other exchanges being built on Stellar. So maybe that's why they're keeping it a little quiet. I think that this is going to be, so what's interesting about this exchange is that trading will be free and no middlemen. So keep in mind, when you see something like Robinhood, right, they have free trades. But what they do, it's a free trade, but they hand the trades off to a market maker who front runs you, takes some money, and they're paying Robinhood. So that's how they make money. There's still a fee. It's sort of hidden, and it's, to me, it's a little shady. But that's how a lot of these things work. I mean, a lot of even mainstream brokerages for stocks and such, they let other companies in to front run you, and then they pay the brokerage. And so, it doesn't look like it's a fee, but you're losing money. And so, bottom line is here, this looks like a truly free, decentralized exchange that anybody can list anything on, and you may be able to trade crypto kitties for oil futures. Just who knows what'll be listed on this thing. It's probably will be pretty user-friendly design. Jed McCaleb making one of the first exchanges for Bitcoin, if not the first, became one of the largest, Mt. Gox. He sold it a year before it collapsed. And OkCupid, these guys have experience with, mobile user-friendly, consumer-facing apps. I think this thing could be really cool. We'll see. And there's a way you can sign up now to be invited for when it first launches. And there may be a business opportunity. I talk about trading. Like, I don't like trading is crazy. I like to buy and hold. But if you are a trader, they're actually looking. Trades are free. They may even pay people who are market makers and sort of finding arbitrages. Like I think they mentioned, I read somewhere, there's like 5, is it right here? No, there may be five different five different what do you call it, token issuers selling Bitcoin at different prices, and there could be arbitrage opportunities there. And they're looking for people to come on. They may even pay you to sort of work on arbitrage in this StellarX. So that looks interesting and exciting. Keep an eye on it. You know, an IBM, as you may know, using Stellar as their payment system on for their blockchain their blockchain initiatives, and they're doing a ton of things. But they just had an announcement, 740 million deal to supply data security to Australia. There's not a lot of details on exactly what they're going to build, but if there's any sort of payment process efficiencies within this project, they will use Stellar. You know, I don't know. It's very IBM is trying to do a lot in blockchain. You know, they're working with Maersk and Walmart and other huge companies. They're beyond pilot. They're building real applications, but to get details on any of these and when things are launching and whether Stellar is being integrated or not, it's hard to get information. But you know, listen, they're in the mix. To me, this is having IBM as a partner couldn't be any better. And speaking of IBM, you know, they said within a year, and this was several months ago, that a central bank is going to issue a cryptocurrency on the Stellar network. Still waiting for that announcement. I think when that comes, that's will be very positive for Stellar in general. Might not actually help that much for Lumens, because I don't think the central bank is going to start using Lumens, but it brings more validity and enlarges the ecosystem on the Stellar network. What else do we have here? So looking at price, and I don't love to start predicting price, but you can see here we had our peak. Wait a second. Yeah, it doesn't. December, I think it peaked higher, and then we had a little jump. I think, well, we can see it here. Yeah, we had this. I still remember the day it hit 90. And came down, and we've sort of bounced off 20, dipped below a couple times, and again, and you can see even in this giant chart here, this last jump, statistically, it looks pretty big. It's when you leave the boring period, it comes with a bang. It's too early to say this is it, and in fact, if we are officially out of the boring period, I think this thing touches 30, maybe 29, and then may come back down nicely. But I think if we're officially out of the boring period, we're going to see this thing keep running all the way to 30 over the next 2 weeks. But just because there's all this good news doesn't mean that the boring period is over. These things can go on for a long time, and we've seen it in the past few weeks. Positive news about things, and prices keep going down because, you know, good news and hype plays well when everybody's throwing money in. When people are taking money out, good news may not help. So bottom line is the price, this run up here, last few days looks very positive, but still it could be a head fake and if the downturn is continuing. I personally am betting, if I had to bet, I'm not betting because I'm a holding. I'm not buying more, I'm not selling, but if I had to make a bet, well, let me just say, if you're dollar cost averaging in and you want some, you want to buy when it's at the lows, and well, that would have been a week ago, but still, we're sort of at the lows. So, you know, if you're dollar cost averaging in, this isn't the worst time to buy. But if I had to make a bet on what's going to happen in the future, I feel like we've seen the lows. Bitcoin bounced 3 times off 5,800. Stellar now bounced a couple times off 18 cents. I don't know. If I had to make a bet, I'd say we've seen the lows. How do you like that? You heard it here. But I'm not in the business of making bets. I don't make bets, and making price prediction bets are often wrong. So please don't invest based on my desire to fulfill your desires to hear me. Usually when people ask me on my comments, oh, you know, what's going to happen to the price? I usually say something like, it might go up, might go down, might stay the same, or a combination thereof. But I do think things are looking pretty good here on another 7% up day. We'll see, but all looking good and solid for Stellar. One last thing I want to throw in there. One of my most popular video has been Stellar versus Ripple. And I'd just like to say that I made the video when when Ripple was 10x higher than Stellar. And then since the day I made this video, Stellar has been gaining on Ripple. It's now Ripple is only now 4 times more valuable than Stellar. And I do believe, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's within a year that Stellar overtakes market cap for Ripple. I do believe. I don't know, about a year, in the long run for sure. That's what I'm betting. All right. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for tuning.